Good evening, race fans. We are here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but not the big track. We're at the Bullring, a half mile to the west of the famed 1.5-mile track for the second event of the 2024B OSCA Weekend Woodsman Series Chase. Got some short track racing for you tonight in this very varied, I believe 5 events in the chase. We have this short track event, a super speedway, a road course, and a 2-mile intermediate oval left to go. So definitely a very varied season to go in this OSCA championship. I'm Cameron Rich, and in the booth tonight we got Carlos Acosta. Carlos,
welcome.
I'm sure a lot of the drivers in tonight's event probably had this event circled on their calendar because normally we see these Xfinity cars go at the 1.5-mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway right down the road, but this is definitely a different breed of track for these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a very challenging race indeed for a lot of these guys as they try to navigate themselves and try to get them, everything figured out. Hopefully, it's not going to be like Martinsville, but we're still going to expect to see a lot of guys maybe moving around each other, as it's going to be very tight and tricky to navigate without making mistakes.
We got just under 2 minutes to go here in qualifying. Currently at the top of the board, we got the Redux teammates of Daniel Gore and Noah Brown. Daniel Gore, of course, your points leader coming in tonight. He's got 6 points over Ryan Gallo, currently P3 in the standings. So definitely we're going to have to look for at that front of the field to see how those championship contenders battle. But I think another thing tonight here, one of the key points of the season that I've noticed is the rise of the fill-ins. And as of now, the fill-in drivers have won 10 halves out of the 28 total we ran so far. So I'd have to think that one of those drivers not in the chase, or maybe one of the fill-in drivers, such as David Tooker or Ethan Burrell, maybe wants to come out here and get a win. I believe Burrell is tied for the wins total on the year with 3. Don't quote me on that, but that I think that is true. He's had a very good year, but 30 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people on the track trying to set fast laps. A couple of stragglers going out to finish up. Daniel Gore and Noah Brown still your top 2. Ryan Gallo sitting there in P3. Darren Staff looking to play championship spoiler up at there in P4. He is not in the OSCA chase this season, but looking to go for that best of the rest finish at the highest points position while not being in the chase, and that is a pretty good battle. We'll have to keep an eye on that tonight. Qualifying is over. Daniel Gore is your pole sitter. I believe that is his 3rd pole of the season, so he's getting this second half of the OSCA chase off to a pretty good start.
We should make some picks. Cam, who you got?
Oh, well, that's going to be a good one. I can pick anyone in the field, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go for the 44 of Ethan Burrell.
Oh, that was not a pick I thought you were going to make. Holy cow. All right. Carlos, who you got?
I'm going to go with Matt the Hack Hackathorn. Going to get me some good viable points tonight.
That's also a really good pick.
You having issues there?
Me on the radio? Sorry. They were mocking me on the radio, and I thought that shit was funny. Sorry.
You gotta drop the language.
Sorry. I forget every week. I'm
2
gonna
weeks
go
in a row
with
now.
the worst. I'm gonna go with one of the worst drivers in the field. I'm gonna go with Adam Peeler for half one.
That is an outstanding pick, so we'll have to see. Maybe Adam will pull out something. These short tracks can definitely throw a wrench into things, and Adam can, we'll see, come out with a top 5. Finished up the field here. Mikey Perniseglio in P17, Dave Carpenter P18. This is going to be the back half of the field here. 25 cars tonight to start tonight's event, and Carlos, that might not sound like enough, or might not sound like a lot, but once we take the green flag here, the back half of the field is going to be about half second in front of the leaders, so we're going to see cars lapped within 5 laps here, probably.
Oh yeah, a lot of these drivers, especially towards the back, will need to be careful and try to be as conservative try to be as conservative as they can without giving up too much time, because as you mentioned it, very quickly they'll find themselves in a position of losing a lap. Let's take a look quickly at the standings going into tonight. Daniel Gore is your current points leader with Ryan Gavel right behind him, not too far away. And then Cooper Johnson 10 points back in third place as your top three of the 2024 B drivers chase off standings. Meanwhile, back at the team standings, Redux Racing holding on to a really almost diminishing position, but they're still at the top of the board. Shift Esports second, and Arcade Motorsports have now gone into third place.
Definitely good to see that, but I am really excited about this race tonight. On our second pace lap, there's your Redux teammates there, 1 and 2. They're going to be leading the field of the green. And I think, Carlos, once that pace truck pulls off, this restart zone is going to be pretty quick, so these drivers are going to have to get on that loud pedal pretty much almost. Well, actually, I might have been wrong there because the base car pulls off into turn 3. We're going to have to wait till turn 4 to get the green here, but this is a small corner here. They're about to take the green here, and Flagman has it. Off we go. Green flag is out here at the Bullring. Good start for the bottom line. Daniel Gore is going to hold his line into turn 1. Ryan Gavel makes a look to the inside, but can't do anything. We still have the Redux teammates 1 and 2 side by side into turn number 3. It looks like that bottom line is probably going to be the dominant line here tonight. These drivers are going to fight to try to get down to it.
Cooper Johnson had an issue going wide to 3 and 4, going to lose 2-3 spots, trying to get himself back to the inside line. He'll probably be clear here in the corner, make some contact with the 10, and around Cooper Johnson goes. And first issue for the night for a chase-off driver, 91. No further contact, I should say, other than a low lacy spin there through 3 and 4.
A couple other drivers involved as well. Looks like the 71 of Dave Carpenter. I don't see a whole lot of damage on anyone's car, so I think everybody should be able to get back going. But of course, Cooper Johnson not going to like the track position he's losing there. He is third in the points, only about 16 behind Daniel Gore coming into this night. So while he doesn't have any damage, it's going to be an uphill battle because passing is not the easiest thing to do at these short tracks. So he's going to have to fight for it tonight.
Well, indeed, he was hemorrhaging a couple spots there. Looked like he had the inside line open, but chose to stay on the middle lane and got contact on the back bumper from Gilberto Javier Gomera. As we'll see if Cam can make it 3 weeks in a row of somebody butchering his name.
That is always the case here, but everybody get back going here again. One more look at the replay. We saw some stacking up in the back of the pack there on board. I think what this was with 32 of Dustin Dewar. He gets in the back of Dave Carpenter there, sends him around, but no big damage at these short tracks here. This is a 3/8 mile track, so even if you got a little bit of bumper bang here and there, it's not going to hurt you too much. I think everybody should be good to go. One thing to note at this track, though, if you are in the back of the pack and you do need to pit, you only have about 25 seconds before you're getting lapped again. So those drivers at the back of the pack, if they need to make pit stops, it's probably going to be a choice between tires, fuel, or damage for them.
Well, we're not going to be. We can remove those first two options because we, at least for sure, fuel we don't have to worry about. Tires, I don't think we're going to run enough for it to matter too much. But that could still potentially be an option, especially if we get a decent green flag run. The only reason I expect to see these guys down Pear Road would be to repair any required damage. I think any optional drivers are going to choose to ignore just because of A, how small Pear Road is, and B, how complicated it would be to know where you are compared to somebody else, because the entry and exit of Pit Road are in the same place essentially.
Yeah, that definitely makes for some interesting situations if they need to pit while the cars are coming out, but we are going to the green here in just a moment again. Top four exactly the same as the start. Daniel Gore and Ryan Gavel, well, actually Gavel and Noah Brown have swapped positions. Ryan Gavel was P2, Brown was P2 there, but they have swapped, so good start for Gavel on that outside line. I didn't really think that outside line was going to be a factor tonight, but Gavel certainly has shown that if you can get that restart good, you can hang up there, but it looks like he's starting to lose some spots. The Redux duo has trained him on the bottom there, so Gavel probably looking to get back on the bottom line before he gets passed by the 55 or the 39 of Watson behind him.
And meanwhile, Darren Stapp is trying to make that outside line kind of work. I was talking to him earlier. Of course, he is one of my drivers, and he was mentioning how dominant that inside line would be. And I didn't really think he was going to touch on the outside line, but kind of made it work a little bit. Didn't really lose any spots there. Was able to get it all sorted out, and now the first 6, 7 drivers are all single files. The 09 has got a little loosey-goosey. Now the question is, where's that 52? Because I believe you have a talking point. You want to talk to us about the 09 and specifically the 52?
Exactly. Yeah, so I believe in 3 events this season, the 09 and the 52 have, all with different drivers, I believe. They've gotten into each other, and the 09 has been the losing end of all 3 instances. So we're going to have to see if the 09 wants to play nice with 52 and vice versa tonight, but I can't think that James Miller in the position he's in the championship position he's in, is gonna take too kindly the 52 roughing him up. But currently not really a factor. James Miller's in 8th and Neil Red is in 16th, so there's 8 cars between them. Should have some space here.
Meanwhile, no changes here at the front as the top 4 are slowly separating themselves from James Watson in 5th place. We do have a battle there, 2 wide, mostly between the 09 and the 75 there. And Caden Tubbs looking right behind them, got himself a good seat as that battle kind of gets sorted. Advantage going to the 09.
Yeah, currently the 75 and the 09, that's Ty McIntosh and James Miller. They have both increased about 4 positions on their start. Caden Tufts has lost about 3, so he's going the wrong way. 75 and the 09 currently going in the right direction. Actually, looks like right in front of James in that 09. He's going to be in a battle here with the 77 of Jake Scarborough pretty soon. So we'll have to see when that one heats up a little bit. Definitely just single file pretty much all through the top 10 here. You know, as I say that, Mikey Perniciglio, he has won the car in turn number 4.
And he was the lucky dog at the time. He actually got himself, I think, another, that was before. But Perniciglio, a lap down at least, I believe. Is actually multiple laps down. He is he had issues with that first caution. And finally got back on track, and unfortunately looks like he spun it around and brought the caution back out again.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened to Mikey here. He might not have taken the start or something, but he, like I said, he is 5 laps down, just cooks it too hard into turn number 3 there. And that's the weird thing about this corner at this track. If you look at the bird's eye view, this track is not a perfect oval. The backstretch is actually quite curved. So if you cook it off into that turn 3 too much, you're just going to be way too quick, and it's really easy to spin out there. Talked to a lot of drivers who are having that same issue during practice, so manifestation of it right there. Don't think we're going to have anyone think about pits, only on lap 20 right now. That race is actually going by pretty quickly. We are, 20, that's a quarter of the way done. So if we can keep going green here, might actually have a pretty decent night.
Yeah, I was expecting this to have more issues, or of course it still could. Let's hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, 21 laps into this race has gone pretty quick. Only 2 cautions.
Definitely good to see the drivers showing a little bit of give and take out here. I can't imagine that's going to hold around for the whole night, because we still have 80 laps to go in this half and then 100 to go in the next one. So there's definitely going to be some championship implications due to how this race plays out. So definitely going to be something to watch there. There's our favorite red-haired Kynan Jones on the screen right now. And we are on board with them. We're going to be going green here in just a moment. Pace truck is off through 3 and 4. It's still the Redux duo of Noah Brown and Daniel Gore at the front. Daniel Gore gets a monster restart on that bottom. Noah Brown slots right in behind him. Oh, they're spinning behind.
So here's what we saw. We saw classic Martinsville teammate swapping that unfortunately the rest of the field either wasn't aware of, because it caused a major stack up or just Redux Racing didn't execute it quite well enough, as that caused a huge stack up on the inside line and resulted in, well, let's take a look at the replay here.
It also looks like Noah Brown lost the position anyway, so he's now back to P3. See right there, he just slots in right behind. It wasn't actually that close, but look, the stack up looks like it was behind the 45 of Darren Staff. The 39 James Watson gets into the back of him. And maybe Darren Staff was letting off a little bit because he saw what was happening in front of him, but there was a little bit more space there than it originally looked like. Go on board with Watson here. Seeing the turn number 1, there is a little bit of stack up there. Not too bad here. Maybe, did James get hit from behind from the 00?
Let's
see that again.
Let's get a top-down camera here.
It definitely looks like that car got lurched into, maybe the...
Yeah.
Oh, the 09 got hit by Caden. So that definitely was a classic stack up right there. There was about 3 cars that all hit each other, and 39 was the unfortunate victim. That's another chase-off car right there.
Yeah, I wonder how Race Control's going to see that. I wonder if Race Control will deem that a racing incident, an issue involving Redux Racing, or from the 00 or even the 09. I wonder how they're going to be deeming that. I'll probably take a look and see before we go back to green if any of the drivers up front get sent to the back, or if we just get told from Race Control themselves.
Definitely would have to think that I don't think the Redux cars were too integral on that wreck there, and I don't think any of the 3 cars behind did anything egregiously wrong. I think it was just a classic short track stack up there. So we'll have to see what Race Control calls it. The pace truck lights are out, so we're about to go green here. Still Gore, Gavel, Brown, and Staff, your top 4. They've pretty much been in the top 4 this whole race. Not a lot, but not a little amount of green laps here. It's been a little bit cleaner than some of the ones we've seen in the past. Pace truck is off, so field's going to roll through 3 and 4 here. I believe it's 40 miles an hour. Black Man has the green in his hand, and off goes the bottom line. Daniel Gore with another great restart. He's going to keep that 65 in tow with him, trying to get that 65 in front of the one of Ryan Gavel. But Ryan Gavel is hanging tough on that outside each restart. He is finding a little bit of grip and a little bit of speed up there, and something is definitely clicking with that one. Maybe the tires are just coming in a little bit. Maybe some rubber coming up on that outside line, but he's able to hold it up there just a little bit better than before.
Hey, McIntosh got a little loosey-goosey there. Lost a lot of time.
Had some 3 wide there for a moment. Looks like James Miller and company were 3 wide going into turn 3, but they all sorted it out. Cooper Johnson, the 91, he hit the, I think that was the 21 of Thomas Capuano. He got a little bit sideways, but he got it up there, so definitely that 91 is, he is coming from behind with that early spin. Definitely has to get himself back up into contention.
Yeah, not the way he wanted his night to start. Had a decent qualifying effort, as he has been doing lately, and just unfortunately has had early issues that resulted in him going towards the back. 21 goes around, caution is out.
Thomas Capuano has spun off. That's turn 4 again, so maybe we are seeing a little bit of a trouble spot there, but was able to get it going and drove through the little victory lane there on the pavement. See who ends up there tonight, but we're seeing pretty decent runs here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 laps. See what happened in the 21 of Thomas Capuano coming through turn number 4. Gets a little low, hits that curb, and I think just a little too much beans for the way that car was cambered in that part of the racetrack. But he didn't even spin it fully out. He never stopped, kept it going. So that was definitely a bit of a NASCAR caution on iRacing's part there. You see right there, he hits the curb, decambers the car, and just too much gas. Round he goes. Not fully around now. It's a good save.
I know some of the guys in real life do that to kind of decamber it, de-wedge it, make the car a little looser. But from what I've been hearing, it's a little hard to pull off in iRacing. I don't know if you've tried doing that yourself.
Yeah, it definitely works at some tracks. It just kind of matters how the setup is built and a lot of other factors. I think for a general rule, It's probably not something you want to be doing at high speed, but I think like a lower speed thing is usually pretty good there. So still not a whole lot of change here in the top four. It's still Gore, Brown, Gavel, and Staff. They've been there just about all race, but look at that number 13 of Dylan Thomas in P5. He started in 19th and has made his way up into the top 5. So he is one of our chase offs. You can tell there by the green banner on the left side of his car in the Weekend Woodsman Series chase. I believe he is one of the lower pointed drivers. I think he was actually 12th in the last coming into tonight. So definitely a good run. Like a top 5 at this race would be pretty good for his championship hopes. I think he is your biggest mover so far.
He is tied with Dustin Dewar.
Dustin Dewar, yep, he's in P8, so that's a good little climb up there. He started P22. I know Dusty, he's one of those drivers, he's not going to go out there and lead a whole bunch of laps, but if there's trouble, he will probably find a way through it and give some good results. So keep an eye on that 32 Chevrolet today and see where he's able to end up. Pace truck is off once again. We are on our 4th caution. It's about to be our 4th green flag run of the night. Actually, I believe it'd be the 5th green flag run of the night. Don't know how to math, but green flag is out once again. Good start from 69 of Daniel Gore on the inside. Probably going to see that all night. Inside line is definitely preferred, but 65 of Noah Brown, he's out there. We saw Ryan Gavel make that line almost work on the last restart. Noah Brown is hanging tough through 3 and 4, but just can't keep the grip up there on the outside. 69 of Daniel Gore has taken the lead for himself now. Now the fights for P2. Ryan Gavel and Noah Brown going at it. Ryan Gavel on the inside, Noah Brown on the outside. Gavel's going to slide up, and now Noah Brown, he's going to be under fire from that 13 of Dylan Thomas. We know he's a short track kind of specialist. He typically does well at the short tracks. So probably looking to get around that 65 and put him up in the podium position.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas now up 15 spots where he started making himself the biggest mover, as Dustin Dewar has actually lost a spot on the restart. Another driver hemorrhaging spots right now is Darren Staff, who pretty much has been restarting on the outside in 4th place all night long with a couple of exceptions and doing his best to hold on, but this time by he just can't get it figured out as he's lost a couple spots and is now down in 8th.
Yeah, Darren's in that unfortunate spot where he was, a little bit of contact there from 32 spinning, turn number 4. Once again, Dustin Dewar has, well, I would say spun it, but he's more perpendicular to the wall than anything. Gonna back it up and keep her going. That's kind of what we're seeing tonight. It looks like a lot of the cars, they're making contact, but the car who actually makes the contact in the rear seems to be the one that is coming out worse for wear. So I wonder why that is. But we are on our 5th caution of the night. Let's see what happened here again. Dustin Dewar racing for P8 here in the back with Darren Staff and Caden Tufts. Just a little too hot into that corner, slides up in the 45, and around he goes.
Yeah, initially looking at it live, I thought Darren had come down on the 32, but looking at it here from top down, it just kind of seems like maybe Dustin kind of overdrove the corner a little bit and got into the 45 there. Looking at it now, yeah, it just looks like he either misses the apron completely, or he just clips one of those little rumble things, and it just tightens the car up.
Yeah, you can see that little shoot up the track that 32 did right before he made the contact. He was going a little bit too fast into that corner. Nature of that turn 3 being curved right here. It looks like he had a good move, but shoots up the track into the side. Maybe in real life that probably wouldn't have been a wreck. It's just the netcode in iRacing doesn't like to play nice sometimes, especially these last few weeks. It's been a little bit sus, but once again, no damage from anybody. I don't even think Darren's left side door panel got scratched up from that one.
Ken Jones down pit road, getting some tires. Capiano as well. Tim Conrad, Dustin Dewar, all getting tires. The question is, will they be able to get out without losing a lap?
Yep, if you look right behind these group, the pace car is coming off 4 right now, so I couldn't see whether this group of cars got 4 or 2 tires, but I'd have to assume it was probably 2.
They all got 4.
Oh, they did? Okay. It's not like late models where your pit stops are 35 seconds.
Oh my
You got
god,
actual
yeah.
cruise there. Well, just like that, we are going green again. Pace Truck is pulling off in the pits. Your top two is still Daniel Gore and Ryan Gavel. Dylan Thomas now up to third. He is, well, actually he's in fourth, scoring with a little bit wear there. Green, flag out once again, 69 of Daniel Gore. Danny G banner on his hood has gotten a good restart, but here comes Ryan Gavel on the outside. That's the best restart we got. Caution, I didn't see what happened. I think something...
I think it involved Kenan Jones. I think he got turned around.
Definitely looks a little bit slower. Have to look at the replay and see what happened here. It definitely was further on in the back, probably, definitely. They even make it to the restart zone.
Oh, not too much beans.
No! That's cold tires right there on a night track. A little bit of damage on the front. I think that 73 Chevrolet will be good to go. Not too much damage. Just like you said, too much beans. Well, tires are cold, coming right out of the pits and trying to keep up with that restart. Round Schmidt.
Oh my goodness. Splash and Go Media's on the YouTube chat. Hello, how are you doing? See, I also see Santi was on the YouTube chat as well. We are missing you tonight. Hopefully you can come back here next week. And it's funny, because you were talking about how you were going to butcher Santiago's name. He's not even racing.
Last I heard, he didn't have the track, so not sure if he wasn't able to actually get the track or some other kind of issue popped up for him. But yeah, that is one of our chase drivers who's not in the field tonight, so that's going to be a huge blow to his point standings.
Oh my god, I'm so mad at myself. I saw him make that post earlier, but the way he worded, I thought he was gonna get it like later. Oh man, oh Santi, I wish you messaged me. I could have given you the track, man. Oh, it sucks that you're gonna miss out on tonight's race. And Cam, your wife is on the chat, hyping you up, doing a great job as always. Both you and your wife.
I sure hope so. I think we are about to go green again. We still have the replay banner up on the left side, but we are live here. Another restart. Daniel Gore gets a good restart into turn number one. Ryan Gavel not as strong on the outside this time around. Looks like he's going to be under fire from the 65 of Noah Brown. Noah Brown's going to want to get himself in front of that one to both help himself and his Redux teammate in that 69. Still side by side. Looks like Noah Brown might have the advantage. Now the battle's going to be for third. James Miller and Ryan Gavel going at it. Looks like that high side has lost all of its grip for Ryan Gavel. He was doing pretty well these last few restarts. Ooh, the 13 has gone around. A couple other cars in the wall. I saw the 45 hit hard. 7th caution of the night, and looks like we actually have some damage here, Carlos.
Yeah, and I think I saw Darren Sapp up against the outside wall, as well as I had to temporarily step aside as one of my dogs was barking. But yeah, let's go see. Excuse me. Let's go see what happened here.
I definitely saw that 45 shoot straight into the wall and then shoot back across the track. So I would be surprised if the radiator was still in one piece, and honestly the rest of the engine too. But we'll have to see what does the replay show. Back here around 6th, 7th, 8th place. Just 13 of Dylan Thomas.
Oh,
he gets turned, and then 45, just an innocent victim, really. I think that car is done. He is not moving anywhere after that.
No,
hit.
he took it for sure. As Darren didn't make the chase-offs this year, but he was still fighting for the best of the rest. As the 77 makes contact with the 13, and then in an effort to avoid the 13, goes up, and unfortunately Darren was there.
That's a little 2-for-1, like Austin Dillon got.
This one was definitely unintentional.
Yeah, you just. I will say he got the best end of that from all the cars that wrecked, though. He just spun out and didn't get any damage, but he has lost all of that great track position he was awarded with his great run. So he's gonna have to come back from, where is he at now? P23 with 40 laps to go now. So tall order to get that car back in the top 5 for Dylan Thomas. Look at that hit for the 45. That is wicked. You are not supposed to wreck like that at a short track.
Yeah, somebody get the tarps. There's no separate barrier at this track either. Hey, are they back green?
We are back green. We have missed the restart. Well, Fox, Daniel Gore still is leading on the restart. Battle for second. Once again, scheduled tweet is the number 1 of Gavel and the 65 of Daniel, or excuse me, Noah Brown. I keep mixing those two up. They are side by side. Now, Ryan Gavel is on the bottom side, so he should have the advantage over that 65, still side by side. That 00 of Caden Tufts, he fell back a few positions at the start of the race, has gotten himself back up into this fray. Another caution on the racetrack. Let's see what happens. I might be involved in that 13 of Dylan Thomas
13,
again.
yeah. We'll see if we even have a replay, because I think my iRacing kind of glitched when that happened. Take a look here. 13 hit the brakes, and the car just went straight, honestly.
Now I don't want to make any baseless accusations. Do you think that was maybe a little bit of a payback?
Oh, that's right. That was a 77 that ran into the back of the 13. Well, that's not our job. But let's take a look here at the inputs on the wheel inputs. No, I don't think so. The wheel was turned left the whole time.
Yeah, he just drove it in there and might have a front brake bias. And now you got to think as a driver though. If you're gonna make a mistake and get into the car or a car, probably getting into the one that just spun you out the caution before maybe doesn't feel too bad. So if he was going after him in some kind of retaliatory way, he did hurt himself more than anything. So I don't think that was really the intention there. I think he just got the brakes a little too hard.
Got Aaron Evans in the YouTube chat asking how it's going, and I would say honestly, it's better than I expected. It's not as bad as most leagues in Martinsville. We have been getting a little stretch here of a caution, so hopefully we can get this cleaned up, because those first 20-30 laps, we only had like just two cautions during those first 20-30 laps, and mostly single file racing was pretty nice and clean. A couple of passes here and there, but since we got past the halfway point, it's kind of been a little, or excuse me, since we got past like lap 40 or so, it's kind of been a little chaotic, but hopefully these guys can wrangle it down.
We're gonna have to see what. So we're gonna have another restart here with Ryan Gavel starting on the outside, I presume. Assuming Daniel Gore takes the bottom, which he almost certainly will. That one of Ryan Gavel has been getting a really good restart on the outside here. These fast few restarts, so we'll have to see if he can do it again.
Yep, and joining us here straight from the Infield Care Center, or exiting the Infield Care Center, is Darren Staff, who has exited this vehicle. Will be joining us in a booth for the remainder of half number 1.
Hello. I just want to call out Caden Tufts. He told me that I was going to flip during the race, and I definitely went up in the air.
You didn't flip though. Green flag's out.
I didn't.
Green flag out once again. The one of Ryan Gavel got a great restart on the outside. Actually entered turn 1 ahead of Daniel Gore, but wasn't able to keep the position. Caution out once again. And there's some chase-off drivers. The 91 of Cooper Johnson, 77 of Jake Scarborough, getting involved in. Well, both those cars have been involved in a couple things tonight.
Man,
it's not been a fun night here at the RKM camp, from what I can already see. As see, the 6 had I don't know if it was an issue because of the 91 or whatever happened, but the 6 got a little squiggly going into turn 1, 91. Hit the brakes, and I think he got ran into from behind. But let's take a look here from a different point of view. If there was any contact that sent the 6 down. Yeah, just a little bit of contact. upset the 6, and the 44 was there as well, and the 91 ran into 21 and then turned himself around. So unfortunately, I think this one's gonna race control may assign this issue to Cooper Johnson there in the 91 as his night's going from bad to worse. As
and hearing from race control, that is a racing incident.
Racing incident. All right. Okay. Well, I have a question for you, Darren, since you were out there, and until that last the last like run or so you had before you eventually crashed hard, you were mostly restarting on the outside line, and you were holding your position firmly in 4th. And I just need to know, what were you doing that was working there on the outside line on restarts?
Well, with people checking up on the inside line and them getting just getting checked up from everyone taking the bottom lane, it helped the outside line a little bit, but I will counteract it and say that I did get kind of lucky with just managing to fit in line, because Gavel has been good around the outside lane, but he's not going to win from that spot. If you're going to make a spot on Gore here, you're going to have to do it from the bottom lane. So, but the question is Brown going to move his own teammate for the spot?
We have seen fireworks between those two teammates at other points in the season, so you would think in the chase that is probably a no-no, but yeah, the chase makes drivers do suspicious things sometimes.
This is going to be interesting with Miller and Gavel also now in the picture.
Oh, look who's behind the 09.
Yeah, I was about to say, James Miller's favorite car is right behind him, 52. That's Neil Rutt this week, so we'll have to see if those two cars get connected once again, but green flag out. The one of Ryan Gavel holding tough on the outside line, probably one of the better restarts he has had. We'll see how he can keep that going into turn 3. Looks like Gore, a good run on the center.
Oh, here
and the exit.
Oh, they're going to go 3?
Almost 3. The 65 is making Daniel Gore's life a little bit troublesome now with that car on his outside, but Gore is holding tight on that bottom line. I think he's going to get it here through turn 4.
Gavel's too loose. I think his tires are a little too hot, but caution's out the 04 around.
Another great moment for Team Mixter Rich. There's the 04 of Matt Hackathorn.
It seemed like I thought Gavel was going to get the lead there, because I thought that Redux Racing was maybe going to be their own worst enemy when Noah Brown kind of like almost shoved it down on the inside, and Daniel was focusing, I think, a little too much on Noah. And I think Ryan, that was Ryan's opportunity, but he just pushed a little too hard exiting the corner, cooked the tires up, and then like the next 2 corners, his tires were too hot, just wasn't able to get anything going, lost all the traction. Let's take a look here what happened to bring out the caution, I should say. As the 04 has gone around, did he get some help from the 91? I think he did, and I think this one for sure will be an issue to the 91. That'll probably be a penalty for him.
Yeah, no. For someone, for this racetrack, just anyone actually, you get loose and you get real sideways like Gavel was, and there's not much track for you to be able to regain focus, because the second that you save it, you got to brake for the corner.
Something else I've been hearing from some drivers, and maybe you can confirm this, Darren, but I was hearing that the inside paint around the track has a little bit of grip. So
it definitely does. I would attribute it kind of like I would attribute that bottom lane, like the paint, kind of like a rumble strip. You know how some of the rumble strips on like the road courses have a little bit more grip? I would definitely say it does have a little grip.
That definitely makes sense, because if you look on the inside of the track, there are those little rumble strips right below that paint too. So
yeah,
a little bit extra friction on them tires, helping that inside line out, especially on the restarts, because you can definitely tell they're getting the drive off through the center and just kind of gassing it up, and the outside line can't do anything. Really, through turn 3 is where I see that advantage go completely to the side of the bottom side here. But
I will say the two people that I pointed out earlier, Miller and Gavel, have now swapped. They are on the bottom lane.
And now Noah Brown's on the top, so We are kind of top 3 is now exactly what we had at the start of the race. Noah Brown on second place, Daniel Gore first, and third is Ryan Gavel. So we'll have to see if Noah can keep that outside lineup, such as Ryan has been, or if he's gonna maybe Ryan will make a dive here. Good restart for the 69.
Noah got a really bad restart. This might be Gavel's chance, and Neil's getting real sideways.
Oh,
Oh, 09, James Miller is around. That is scheduled tweet number 2 of the race. Got some big shots in the back. Still wrecking under caution.
And they're wrecking under yellow.
He hit me under yellow.
Stop me if you have heard this before. The 09 has gone around from somebody tapping his right rear quarter panel.
I'm going to not say anything. I have to watch the replay. I'm just going to be sad over here and cry in the corner a little bit.
I mean, for sure that's what happened. No, we don't know why it happened, but that's what happened.
All right, here's the replay. See that Noah Brown on the outside didn't get going there, but here's Miller. He's third car on the bottom. It looks like he pushes up a little bit into the 00 of Caden Tufts. He was just there. Noah Brown goes around, and that was just a bit of a proper mess right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, even though it's like 19 to go, I don't... Netcode was the call for the caution.
I think that's just a racing deal, honestly. We're running down on laps.
I think the 09 definitely came up just a little bit, but at the same time, for me, the 00, I feel like made a 3-wide move that was and wasn't there.
Yeah, if you look in the back of the 09, I think that he really couldn't have done anything there. He just kind of was in a spot that, I don't know, another one of those wrecks that if it was real life probably would have been a wreck because the net code is once again a little suspect. So thank you, Iris. Appreciate it.
I will say though, we have lost one of those top 3 that you were talking about earlier, Noah Brown. That he was involved in that.
So he's going to be back in P23, it looks like, with only, what, 15 laps to go?
Yep. No, he'll be, I was about to say, P22, P23, somewhere around there.
Did any of you guys hear what the official word was from race control?
It was a net code, so no one's been penalized. I don't know though. Let's see if Gavel can hold him off. He's been in that position before, but there's not another Redux teammate behind him.
We have a new player up there in the top 3, the number 9 of David Westertooker. Sorry, David Tooker. Wester Green now.
Westertooker.
Wester Green not in the car this week. It's another David Tooker. We'll see what he can do if he can get up there in the top 2 spots. Green flag out once again. Daniel Gore, good restart on the bottom, scheduled tweet. But on the outside, Ryan Gavel holding tough in turn 3. We'll see if he can hold that grip and get a run off. But it looks like through the center, the 69.
Caution is out.
Adam Peeler, looks like he has potentially gone around on the backstretch.
Take a look, and then I got something to announce afterwards. Oh, that's weird. Wait, who went around again?
It was the 27.
Adam Peelers, 27.
Yeah, he must have gone around way too quickly. Didn't even register on my end.
I took a quick peek at my iRacing and saw him around.
Off the bumper
from
of the 91
bumper
again?
91, yeah.
I think David or Cooper said something over the radio, and I think he said that he might have, that it looked like he braked on the back straightaway, but I don't know what the race control is going to call from that.
Or you have to check these arcade cars after the race and see where they put the magnets, because they're getting hit in all the wrong spots.
I was about to say, except I didn't hit anyone.
Yeah, we just needed to put a magnet on the bottom of your car and then one on the other side of the track. So
Yep, they official wording from the race control, it was on the 91.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a black flag for the 91, I think, for his
that is
third offense. So Not the
is
kind of showing he wanted to come out here and
No, yeah.
show in the first half and be in P4 in points. So
Cooper
we will
Johnson
see
had
if he
go on.
we'll see if he can clean it up in the second half and get some points out of it. But I think that's going to effectively ruin his race tonight, the black flag.
Well,
Yeah.
not completely, because unlike me, where I would definitely would have gone back out there with damage, he can get the only thing that he could probably salvage is a P21, which would start him up front for the next half.
Also, we have 10 laps to go on a short track, which can take anywhere from 2 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how we do this. So,
Oh, this is gonna take 30 minutes, minimum.
Also, want to give a massive shout out to Splash and Go Media. For the first time in Through It TV history, we got our first ever super chat. So thank you for Splash and Go Media. I don't think that they wrote anything, but thank you.
racetrack lights are out. Going green here.
There we go.
once
We have
again.
a couple new players. We got Capuano, got Borrell, we got Javier Romero. It might be interesting here in the top 10 late.
Green flag out. Good restart for the 69. Once again, I'm sure he's getting tired of having to do that. Probably wants to go green so he can finish this race out. Good showing on the outside line for that number 1 of Gavel once again, but
Oh, there's
I think
Tim's around.
somebody out in the back. That's Tim Conrad. No caution yet.
No
we'll have to
caution
see
yet.
if Abner wants to throw
Gavel,
it. Not
Gavel
yet.
got the P2 on the inside lane.
Might see some contact here between those two cars. They're getting very close on the entry of
We
1 and 3.
we will see
Walking.
contact. Oh,
Contact.
he moved
69
just
goes
a
up
little
track
bit.
just a little bit.
But that a little bit is going to give Gavel the inside.
He's there.
He's there.
Oh!
He's not going to give it to him. Daniel Gore is holding him way tight. That was a good move on his
Gore-
part to keep
Gore
that,
made a-
that one car behind.
Oh, and
Caution.
I think Cooper was around us, the
man.
91. Yeah, I saw him out of the corner of my eye. I think he advanced on the track after that black flag, right into Tooker and Tough, who was 3 wide. Yeah, I
See what
think
the replay
yeah,
shows.
he entered the track on the 3 wide. Very good effort to try, but yeah.
Oh yeah, just a little too much speed there is a night to forget for RKM already, and it's only half one. As
Oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, Carlos, but as your driver, I don't know how half 2 is going to go any better.
please. Going back to what Splash and Go Media with their super chat, they meant to write a Go Redux.
Okay, can I
Yeah, go on.
I
announce it.
unfortunately have to tell you this, but RKM car has been black flagged and parked. The 91 car is parked for the 3rd incident for the night.
Honestly,
and-
with how this half is going, it may just be for the best. Just regroup, get ourselves ready for half number 2. Alright, but let's focus back here on the race. We're going to have I believe our first attempt at a green-white checkered. Please correct me if I am wrong.
Yes, we should get into it.
Alright, so first of 2 attempts here. And also remember, drivers, or excuse me, fans watching, the invert here for half number 1 is 21, so the driver in 21st position will be starting half number 2 in pole position, and that currently is Adam Peeler.
All right, Sam, I got a question for you, and Ed Carlos can answer this too. We are gonna see a restart here. Green-white checkered, Gavel's on the outside, and Caden Tufts did move into the P3 spot in the inside lane. What do you think we're gonna see on this restart? Because I'm expecting contact.
I would probably be expecting some contact too. So honestly, I think that 52 of Neil Rutt's probably in a great spot. If anything happens with those top 4 in front of him, I think he's going to be the one who's going to be able to drive through it. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
here though. Gavel has been able to hold Gore on the outside for a little bit. Let's see if he can do that again one more time.
Seeing some things we haven't seen all season here too. The 69 really hasn't need to get aggressive all season, but he's now in a spot where he's going to have to be. Green
Gavel-
flag out once again.
Gavel got a
Gavel.
better restart.
Yeah, hold
Did he
tough
get a
on that
black flag
outside.
though?
No, I don't think so. He's gonna. I think he might file in here on the. No, he didn't file in on the inside white flag.
Oh, he's on the inside now.
We're going to see something
There's some
drastic here
wrecking in the
turn three.
back.
One more move, the one of Brian Gavel. He wants to win this race. He'd have to send it up in there and hit the 69. Not going to happen. Win number 5 on the season for the 69 of Daniel Gore. He wins half number 1 at the Bullring.
Good props to Gavel there for keeping it clean there. No contact there in 1. I usually expect a pretty aggressive Gavel to make a move like that, but good props to him for keeping it clean there and just maybe seeing if he can round one up for half number 2.
Yeah, honestly, great driving.
Bit of a clinic on the 69 of Gore's part. He led just about the entirety of that race once he got out front. Was really hard to get a move running on him, but he is going to start 21st in half number 2. So he is going to have to pass some cars this time.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, Darren, for joining us here in half number 1. Hopefully you don't find yourself in a position to join us here in half number 2, and you're able to finish out that second half. And let's go out there, give Cooper some pep talk, and hopefully this half number 2 honestly can't be any worse for the team.
Yeah, no, but I think we'll try our best, but keep the seat warm for me, will you?
I'm not gonna try to, but
I was about to say,
Aren't you about to go get back in it?
just in case.
yeah, go get back in it. Thank you so much, Darren, staff, for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us here. All right, and Cam, why don't you go ahead and take it away with the Heat 1, half number 1 results.
All right, coming out with his 5th win of the season, it's Daniel Gore. He started first, finished first. Number 69 Redux car comes home with the win. Ryan Gavel, second in points, finishes second on the night. Caden Tufts, Thomas Capuano, David Tucker rounds out your top 5. Neil Rutt, Ty McIntosh, Ethan Burrell, James Watson, and Gilberto Javier Gomera is your top 10. Followed by Noah Brown, tough break for him, ran at the top 2 basically all night and was involved in that late race incident. Comes home with an 11th. Ray Bracey P12, James Miller P13, and Jake Scarborough P14. A couple more drivers that were involved in this Blaze race shenanigans. Connor Jones P15, Zach Evans P16, Adam Peeler P17, Tim Conrad, Dustin Dewar, Matt Hackthorne, Dave Carpenter, Dylan Thomas, Cooper Johnson, Darren Staff, and Mikey Pernisiglio round out the field tonight. So your pole sitter for half number 2 looks like it's going to be Dave Carpenter.
All right,
So,
Vic. I'm
we
sure
suck,
you have a
Charlotte.
headache. I also have a headache as a team owner.
We suck. You go first, Carlos, because
Oh no, really?
your picks suck the worst. Only because his car broke on the last lap.
Ah. I guess I'll go alphabetical and we can take Adam Peeler.
You know what? Considering the fact that he got me a better finish than your guy got you, that's not half bad. So I go second here because my pick also sucked, expectedly. You know, I'm gonna go with a guy who I butchered his name last week. So it is Gilberto Javier Gomera.
Hey, you
I'm
nailed
gonna go
it.
with him in the 10. You got Cam.
I am going to go with Big Sexy tonight. Starting P2, it is my car, the one you just saw, that yellow and white machine driving backwards on your screen. That's 0 for Matt Ackathorn. He's going to win tonight.
That's a pick.
Certainly is a pick.
Well, he was my pick and his car broke down in the last lap.
Fun fact about that driver of that car, he is racing with one arm and has been for the last 4 or 5 weeks or so.
Can you tell us why his number is 404?
Because it's not found.
Oh man,
That would be more of a James Miller question because he did paint that car, but yeah, not found.
Well, that was broadcast indeed. Let's go ahead and wrap it up early.
Yep, I'm Cameron Rich, and this is Carlos Costa. We are done for tonight.
Kidding aside, though, we got Aaron Evans asking, why are they driving backwards? They're just having fun. This is just a little rest period for the drivers to kind of unwind from the first half. If any drivers made any mistakes, just clear their heads, clear their minds, and get themselves ready for. Oh, you can see the other racetrack right there. Just clear themselves and get themselves ready for half number 2. Go to the bathrooms, go get water, do whatever the guys need to do to get themselves ready. And for some of these guys, it's just have fun, relax. You know, it's nothing. You know, no point in being stressed out.
I'll give y'all a fun little fact about this track before we go back green again. This particular speedway is exactly 0.9 miles to the north of Nellis Air Force Base, the home of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. So, a little fun fact for tonight.
Oh my God, who was that? Just flying through the screen.
I want to give a shout out to that one fan that was sitting next to the fence there, just not really moving at all while cars were just flying past his head. So he's got ice in his veins.
All right, have we gone through all your talking points?
Probably. We'll see. I don't have them up right now, but I think we went through most of them. I think a big talking point right now is the fact that we have 100 more laps of this racetrack, and we're gonna flip the field around, make everybody start at the other end of where they finished in half number 1. I don't know about you, Carlos, but I always love half 2s in OSCA. They're always just chaotic and crazy, and this one's probably going to be one of the most chaotic ones we see.
Yeah, we've seen some good racing here. For in terms of half number 2s from OSCA, we'll see if we're gonna get the same thing. But here is the starting lineup for half number 2: Carpenter, Hackathorn, your first and second place drivers, and then Dusty Dragon Doer, Tim Conrad in third and fourth. We'll let the screen kind of continue as some of the drivers are still filling in. Peeler in fifth, Zach Evans is going to be starting half number 2 in 6th position. Kynan Jones in 7th, Jake Scarborough in 8th, 9th and 10th will be the 09 of James Miller, and Mr. Bojo himself, Ray Bracey, in 10th place.
Start P11, Noah Brown, and one of the fastest cars in half number 1 had some misfortune. We'll see if he can come through in half number 2. Gilberto Javier Gomera starts next to him. P13 is James Watson in that pink, yellow, and lime green machine. Ethan Burrell in the 44 starts P14. Ty McIntosh in the 3-wide TV that's not pink, that's purple and orange machine, starts P15. Neil Rett starts P16. David Tooker starts in P17 in the Wester green machine, and P18 is Tommy Capuano. P19, Caden Tuff finished well in half number 1. That was P3 for him. Ryan Gavel starts P20. Half 1 winner, Daniel Gore starts P21. Dylan Thomas, one of the fastest cars in half number 1, had some misfortune on his part too, starts P22nd. Cooper Johnson, not a good half for him in half number 1. We'll see if he can turn around. And the other RK car starts P24, Darren Staff. Michael Perniziglio, 25th. I don't know if he's here or not. If he is here, he will start there. And that is your starting field for tonight's half 2 at the Bullring.
All right, well, half number 1 had a fairly good and clean first 30 laps before it started to divulge into a little bit of a caution fest, a little bit of chaos here and there. We're going to see if we're going to have something similar here in half number 2, or we're going to have ourselves a calmer half.
Another thing to look at tonight, if you look at your leaderboard on the left-hand side there, the drivers highlighted in green are all the chasers, and if you will notice, most of them are towards the back. First one is Zach Evans at P5, so great opportunity for him to gain some points, get some good instant points, send that money off to the kids who need it. And we'll see if he can get himself a top 5 in this half. So, with what we saw in half number 1, it looks like the passing was possible, just was very hard, and with the speed disparity, we saw a lot of stack-ups. So do you think we're going to have that here on this restart, Carlos?
I don't think we're going to have it in this initial start, but maybe possibly if we get a couple quick cautions, we may see something like that happen. I would probably say maybe the second restart of the night.
It all comes down to this one. Half number 2 is underway here in just a moment. Dave Carpenter is your pole sitter. Matt Hackthorne there on the outside line. Good restart for both of them. Off into turn 3 they go. Hackthorne has about a car length lead on the 71. We'll see if he can keep that on the outside. It's like he actually was able to keep that lead pretty well. He might be able to slot down in front of the 71 here. Not so fast. Dave Carpenter says, no, I'll take that spot. Thank you very much. And off into turn 1, they both go. Still side by side. It looks like Dave Carpenter might get that position all to himself now here. Hackthorne is under fire from Dewar into 3.
Yep. Carpenter has pulled away from the rest of the field, as I think I heard a couple drivers maybe hitting the outside wall, but all good so far here. Lap number 3 is around goes Adam Peeler. Caution is out. And I see the 0-0 involved as well.
Looks like Caden Tufts. I don't see any damage on the car. It looks like he might have just maybe slowed down, stopped to not get himself in the wreck. Let's see what the replay shows. Replay never lies here. Turn 4 here, James Miller on the bottom, and just some contact there. That's probably going to be on the 09.
I think the 09 appreciated a little contact earlier. But regardless, 27 didn't hit anything other than just making contact with the 09, so he'll be A-okay once they get themselves restarted again.
Lots of wrecks here tonight, but only one big hit. I think that was the 45 that was into the outside wall, but we'll go on board with, this is with his 0-0. Just a little, that's the 27, excuse me. A little sideways there. Just nests it really into the little opening there pretty perfectly, and no damage.
Just a little contact exiting the corner, and then maybe drove it in there a little deeper than expected from the 09. Shot the 27 up there and almost made contact with the outside wall. Maybe if there was a safer barrier, would have made contact, but the lack of a safer barrier there was actually the safer option for the 27.
For sure, our lack of safety in OSCA has benefited the 27 of Adam Peeler, so he will get to live another day. Still at the front here, Dave Carpenter. He has not relinquished his lead from the start. Dustin Dewar has made his way up into P number 2. Dewar, I believe, did he get his first OSCA win? It was last season, I believe, so see if he can net another one on tonight. No, he's pretty good at the short tracks. He can avoid the mess and get himself up in a good spot. What I love about these inverts, it gives some other people a chance to shine up in the top 5, get some TV time. Pace truck is off, but our field is not stacked up whatsoever. We're going to have to probably figure that one out. Oh, there we go. Extended the caution. Didn't think that was going to be a restart. There was way too many cars that were just not lined up there. So we'll go around one more time and do it all again. Oh, I'm hearing the 77 has a meatball. Might have had some contact under caution.
Ooh, that's 77?
77, yeah, Jake Scarborough. He's hearing he has a meatball. We have some stuff going on in the back of the field. Looks like some people aren't where they're supposed to be, but through 3 and 4, they're going to have to sort it out pretty quickly. Green flag out once again. Dave Carpenter, great restart on that bottom line. He's going to send him off into turn number 1. He's got the lead all to himself. Dustin Dewar on that outside line, side by side with Matt Hackthorne. Matt Hackthorne almost gets into him. He's going to take that inside and try to net P2 for himself. Looks like that's going to be successful. Now the battle is for P3. Noah Brown back there. Looks like we know Noah Brown's going to be fast. He was one of the fastest cars in half number 1. Probably going to be trying to make his move for P2 right here. There he goes. Not wasting any time trying to get to the front. 65 of Noah Brown. He started back in P11, so he's already gained 9 spots in about 11 or so laps here. About 6 or 7 of those were under green, so good showing from that 65 car.
Being told that Miller was kind of parked in the middle of the racetrack. From one of the YouTube comments. I'm gonna try to see if we can pull up what happened. Meanwhile, back at the front, we finally have a Brown looking to the inside for that race lead.
Yep, it looks like that's going to be a pretty short fight because Noah Brown has driven past the 71 lead is all to himself. He's bringing Ethan Burrell in that number 44 Do Good Motorsports car behind him. And Ethan Burrell, he started back in P14. So P11, P14 is where your top 2 runners have started on the night. Of course, Ethan Burrell is not in that points battle. He is a fill-in driver, has 3 wins to himself on the year so far. Probably wants to get number 4, but can't imagine he's gonna want to get too much in that championship fight. Definitely gonna want to race hard, but not do anything too crazy to that 65 in front of him. Further back in the pack here, 75 of Ty McIntosh. 52 of David Tooker. He's made his way up to the 52, that's Neil Rutt this week. David Tooker's in the 9. 52 of Neil Rutt has made his way to the 11th position. Darren Staff, contact with David Tooker. David Tooker goes up the track, so does Ryan Gavel. They both are going to lose about 3 spots through turns 1 and 2. 13 of Dylan Thomas still fishtailing it. Somehow gets it back under control into turn 3. That was certainly a move right there that could have ended a disaster for about 3 or 4 cars.
Okay, I have gone back in time, my trusted time machine, and I have figured out what happened. Why Jake had a meatball flag and why he had a comment saying that the 09 was parked in the middle of the racetrack. I'll pull up a replay here as the 09 did have to stop. He did get a black flag for causing the caution. As I'll go here on the multicam, will be the top view. As he came to a stop there, letting the other drivers go by, but the other drivers didn't fully understand what happened, and so there was a big stack up, and a couple drivers, including the 73, the 77, kind of ran into the back of each other, and well, this will happen in Scarborough. Why you got a meatball flag?
That's a wild situation right there. I'm not really sure why there was no communication across the field, but it definitely is not good. That's a chase car right there. I mean, 09 of Miller is a chase car too, so I'm sure they don't want to be getting themselves involved in situations like that, but definitely a tough break for both of them. Front of the field, the lead is now 0.6 of a second, now going up to 0.7 of a second. Noah Brown is making that car go pretty fast right now. He's got the 0.6 of a second lead over 44 of Ethan Burrell. Matt Hackathorn, about a second and a half back in P3. He's holding tough there. Dave Carpenter, still in P4. And James Watson, he's moved up from P13 up to P5.
Yeah, I think this is the longest green flag run we've had in the night. And we're starting to see these guys kind of pull away from the, see who's fast, see who's not, see who's been making up a bunch of spots. As I think right now the biggest mover is actually tied between Ethan Burrell and Daniel Gore. And Ethan Burrell is currently in 2nd, Daniel Gore is currently in 9th. So Daniel can still make up a couple spots, but Ethan Burrell can only realistically make up 1 more spot. But even then, Noah Brown's kind of been pulling away. Well, actually, that's not true. These last 3 laps, Burrell's been catching cautions out. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say that lead has been halved, but it's now halved even more because there's the 27 of Peeler. He has spun in turn number 4. Once again, turn 4 being quite a bit of a problem spot tonight. Let's see what happens in the replay, but looks like nobody else was involved. Maybe just a self-spin, maybe some too much beans.
Looks like he's by himself.
Yeah, he was out of shape right there. Just never got it collected back up. A little too fast into turn 3. Once again, we've seen that all night. That curved turn 3 is a bit tricky. So get that just a little bit wrong, and you can see yourself pointing the wrong direction. No damage though. Car is clean. He will be able to keep going. So I'm sure, well, I was going to say Noah Brown probably enjoyed seeing that caution because his lead was shrinking pretty significantly. But do you think we're going to see anybody pit? That was that's the longest run we've seen all night.
No.
It was about 20 laps.
No, Cam, would you pit?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Daniel Gore's pitting, though. Neil Rutt stayed out, actually. It's just Daniel Gore. He got baited.
Oh, that will be an interesting call. So he's going to be the only car. He's going to have 30 lap pressure tires in the field. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he's able to make his way back up through the field, because that is a pretty gutsy call. I got to say, as a driver on a short track, if there's an opportunity to not pit, I think I would always take that.
Yeah, I remember when you used to drive for my team, you told me this, at tracks like this, you just never want to pit because the caution's always going to come out, and you just put yourself in a bad position if you do go down pit road. And you've won a couple races without even ever needing to pit.
Yep, I think because I mean, when you pit, you add a couple things into your equation that can go wrong. You know, you can speed, you can overshoot your box, you can do this, you can do that. So I personally think that if on a short track, you know, I grew up watching Cars Tour and, you know, things that preceded it. They don't pit. They don't change tires in those races. You go out there with a set of tires you start the race on, and you make them last. So I think that's true short track racing right there. I like seeing when people can do it. Pace truck lights are out once again. So that was a pretty that run went by pretty quickly. So we'll have to see how those tires are in the 65, how they are in the 44. 44 was definitely a little bit quicker before that caution came out, and I'd have to think the 65 tires are a little bit worse for the wear, but we know that 65 driver is very aggressive, and he will not let that lead go easily. So here we go, green flag coming out once again in the starter's hand. Here we go. Noah Brown, great restart on that inside line. He's going to clear the 44 into turn number 1 pretty easily. Now the battle for second with Hackathorn on his inside, but Hackathorn not going to be able to do anything. We're too wide through from 5th place on back. Then we have Dave Carpenter on the outside there. Ty McIntosh, he's going to probably lose that spot through turn 2 here.
Trying to do a little check up there last lap in the middle of the pack, but thankfully, aside from a small bit of contact from a couple drivers, it was all good here. No harm, no foul. As we kind of look at the meat in the middle of this battles going on here, as this is where the majority of the racing action is, with around Darren Staff, David Carpenter, Brian Gavel, who's trying to make up as many spots as he can, as we have multiple drivers right now in the double digits in terms of positions gained, and actually biggest mover so far, Darren Staff, up 17 spots. Huge turnaround from the misfortune he had in half number 1, so 37 laps into half number 2, and he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, we know he had speed. He showed that in half number 1, just starting on the outside, getting in those bad positions. I think now with some clear track and some racing time, he's able to just show what he can do and get to the field here. So I don't think that 45 is done making spots up just yet.
Yeah, that's true. He can still make up a couple more spots, as he is where is he? He's just cracked into the top 10, actually, currently in 7th. But now we're starting in single follow-up. We're going to start to see these guys trying to separate. The only double follow-up is kind of a bit further back where the 21.69 is. Daniel Gore. And the 77 as well. 77 actually is multiple laps down. He is 2 laps 13. Down. 20. Oh, 13 does go around. That will be a caution.
That was about a 2-corner wreck right there. He lost the rear end, and it kept losing, then it just went around. So I think before I saw that caution, the 69 was up to P16 or P15, gain about 6 spots.
How much rear brakes?
And no damage once again.
No damage, or at least no additional damage there at 13.
You got a little bit of a front bumper wonkiness there, but it'll be all good. Yeah, but you can see as soon as that car just dove on the front, the rear kind of just unsettled. It wasn't gonna save itself. So I was talking to some drivers before this event tonight, and a lot of them were saying that the setup, the way the brake bias was, really the default brake bias, they were having to run it, they were having to turn it actually forward quite a bit because they were losing the rear end. So maybe we're seeing that with some of the other drivers who didn't turn their brake bias up. But we got some activity on pit road. The 44, Ethan Burrell, he has pitted. I don't think anyone else around him did. It was just him, a couple others in the back. We get another long green run here. I think the 69 of Gore, he's going to be pretty good because he's going to start here in about roughly P15. So if he can just do what he did last restart and make about 6 spots up and on the first 3 or so laps, he's going to be cracking the top 10 here pretty soon.
So we saw Redux Racing win half number 1. Do you think Redux Racing can win this second half based on the speed that we're seeing so far?
I think Redux Racing can win any half of any race that we come to this season. The question is anyone else going to maybe get a little aggressive with them? Or we know that 65 has made a couple enemies this season, so if he gets the wrong if he gets the wrong car behind him, they might not play too nicely with him, but we'll have to see. I don't think too much is going to happen here. Everybody's pretty respectful of each other, and this has been one of the cleaner short track races we've actually seen in OSCA for quite some time, surprisingly enough. So they struck off once again. Your top 2, Noah Brown and Matt Hackathorn. Once again, reminder, Ethan Burrell was P2. He pitted on this last restart, so he is now back in P19, it looks like. Good restart for that 65 of Noah Brown. He launches off into a 2 or 3 car length lead through 1 and 2. Battle for second now, James Watson and Matt Hackathorn. Watson's going to take that position pretty easily.
Nice and clear. James Watson also nice and cleared into cautions out. Never mind. Big wreck in the back. 44, 21. I think 21 just came to a stop. I don't think he may have been involved. But 44 for sure went around. Let's take a look. See what happened here. 7 actually went around first, it looked like.
That was, yeah, that was quite a stack up there. We saw the 09 of Miller get all kinds of sideways, somehow saved his car. Did he have contact from behind?
Ooh,
oh, no,
71 hit the 45, and the 45 got loose into the 7, it looked like. But we did kind of get that late camera angle, so let's take a look at it again here. See what happened.
Looks like the 7 got sideways. The 09 went to the right to try to avoid, and then there was just a car there.
We go on board with the 7 of Racy. You can't really quite see it from there, but it kind of looked like the 45 maybe got a little loose into the corner, corrected it, but when he came up, he made contact with he made contact with the 71, which sent him down into the 7, which turned the 7 around and caused calamity behind there. So it'll be interesting to see how race control will call that. If you have any idea of how that's going to be called, please let me know.
From the peanut gallery, just my personal opinion, I don't think any single car could have done anything differently to avoid that. I think that was just one of them too many cars and too small of a space at one time type deals. Nobody got a whole bunch of damage. Like, I think even the 44, who probably got the worst end of it's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did get the worst out of that one, but yeah, you're probably right, he should be fine.
He got a little bit of contact from behind too. I think the 32 kind of nerfed him like forward into the wreck a little bit, made him probably hit a little bit harder than he would have otherwise. But I want to give a quick update to any Jake Scarborough or Kynan Jones fans. Both the drivers are now back on the lead lap. Jake Scarborough, of course, actually both, I think Jake Scarborough and Kynan Jones were involved with that first couple laps incident where they got meatball flags, but both are back in the lead lap. Pace truck is off once again. Your top two, Noah Brown, James Watson. James Watson had a pretty good restart last time. We'll see if he can do it again on that outside line. Green flag is out. Good restart from both lines. James Watson's going to send it off on the outside of that 65. I don't think he's going to hold it off at turn 2 here. No, he does not. Noah Brown takes that spot for himself. Now the battle's going to be for P2, Neil Rutt. James Watson, Neil Rutt on the bottom, going to take that pretty easily, I think. Once again, there we go.
Oh! Oh,
Ooh,
four!
Hackthorn sideways, that's not going to end well. Contact, caution.
So I think there was a stack up there exiting 4. A lot of drivers were almost going 2-3 wide. I'm not quite sure. The one, there were 3. The one was in the middle with the 04 on the outside, and then the 45 there staff on the inside. As we see a couple other drivers getting involved in that as well. And I think the one just wasn't expecting to be in the middle.
What was also kind of weird though was that one actually disappeared right when they were 3 wide. So 3 wide right here, kind of contact, Matt gets sideways, and then he just disappears, which is a little weird. But
Actually, you may not like this, but I think my opinion has changed on that. I don't think the one didn't know he was 3 wide. I think the 04 didn't know that he was 3 wide, because it kind of seemed like he came down, not in like a crowding way, but just came down because he probably thought he was just too wide. And let's keep the same camera angle. Let's take a look at it. I think the 04 just didn't know he was 3 wide.
Race Control has called that on the 1 car. Ryan Gavel is the POL.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, that's definitely not our position to judge any of these calls. So Race Control's going to deem that. That's what it's going to go for. But yeah, that sucks. That sucks for the 04. Sucks for you. And but at least it could have been worse. There's not really that much damage there. Unlike what happened there with a couple other drivers. I think Cooper Johnson probably got a really bad end of the stick there, as he tried to go up high to avoid the incident, but a couple drivers were already heading there.
If there's one thing certain about tonight is that both TMR and Cam are going to have a crying session after we're all said and done here.
We are financially not going to recover after this. We are running out of iRacing bucks.
Just like that, we're 3/5 of the way through the race. Noah Brown's your leader, Neil Rutt second. Neil Rutt has had a pretty good night tonight. He started P16, made his way up to second. We know he's a short track driver. Think he can go up there and get it?
I think any of the guys in the top 5, even top 10, are capable of getting it. And look now, the 69's making his way up there right now. He just cracked the top 10.
Remember, he's got 30 lap fresher tires than everyone in the field besides the 44 who was involved in that last caution. So he might be sitting pretty here. Green flag is out once again. Good start for the 65 of Noah Brown. 39 of James Watson did not get going very well in that bottom line, but looks like everybody got it sorted out. Top 3 now, Brown, Rutt, McIntosh into turn 3. Battle for third. James Watson doesn't want to lose that third spot from McIntosh. They're side by side into turn 1. So we're 2 wide all the way back to about the back of the field from this point on.
Almost 3 wide there entering turn 3 and 4.
Oh,
Round
big stack at the
goes
back.
27-32. They're both facing the wrong direction in 3 and 4.
Sixth caution of the night. I think we had what was it, 14 and a half one. So.
Oh, Kynan Jones got a meatball flag. Ethan Burrell got a meatball flag.
What kind of hits they took here? Ooh, that's a pretty bad hit. I don't see where Ethan took the bad hit, but maybe.
I saw it. So around the same time that kind of got the bad hit too. It looks like while Ethan didn't get hit as hard, it seemed he got hit on the wheel area. So I think it just ripped the suspension off.
Yep, that'll do it. So we'll see what actually happened here. Looks like just another Dusty went up the track, got in the 27, and just kind of locked together. I think there was some netco with that 73 and the 44 because they didn't. Did they actually make real contact? Because I don't think their cars actually. I think it was just like netco contact.
I think they did make real contact. And this is another case of. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. The initial contact may have been netcode, but afterwards there was contact. And actually, Ethan got hit on both sides there with the 77 on his inside. So I just think his suspension probably just got ripped off. I think I looked back. I think the 33, or excuse me, 32. That car, I've been seeing this a couple times. It just locks up that front end, not necessarily from him, but a couple drivers. Locks up that front end going into the corner. Oh, excuse me. Let me try that one more time. Locks up the front end going to the corner, and the car just goes straight when he should be turning in, and it just causes an issue. And it's like the fourth or fifth time I've seen that happen tonight. In general, just not just from Dusty, from a couple of the drivers.
Yeah, I did a couple of practice laps here, and I think going off into turn 3 there, that curve in the track, it is a little bit more pronounced than it maybe looks on the broadcast, because you definitely have to change the way you drive into that corner, and if you get it wrong, you can definitely either kick the rear end out and spin the car, or you can get the front end locking up, and then you just kind of go up the track. So it's a pretty fine balancing act trying to get this track right. It's like a tiny Richmond. If you look at it from the top, it's like a tiny Richmond that's flipped backwards. Backstretch is like Richmond's front stretch, and the front stretch is like Richmond's backstretch. But pretty cool little track. I love short tracks. Love watching them. It's been a good one tonight. 67 laps complete. Pace truck is off once again. It's been all Noah Brown since lap 11 or so. Once he got up to the lead from P11. Green flag out once again. Good start on that bottom line. Ty McIntosh decides to jump immediately down to the bottom and try to get around the 52 of Neil Rutt. Battle for third right there. Battle for third is quickly turning into a battle for second with that 39 of James Watson right ahead.
Well, look now, the 09 is approaching his arch nemesis, aka best friend there in the 52.
And he's got the 69 of Daniel Gore right behind him on fresh tires, so we'll have to see how well those tires are going to actually make a difference here. Caution out once again, something in the back. Somebody is sideways, and that's Gilberto Javier Gomera is around.
Take a look and see what happened to Gilberto Javier Gomera.
I'm going to assume there was contact. He's got the 91 behind him. That's if it was race 1, that's a bad sign. Well,
well, I don't think that was Cooper's fault there from that initial view. But we got a couple of camera angles we can take a look at.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because it didn't seem like the 91 overdrove the corner. If anything, it looked like the 10 got a bad rotation. Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, yep. The 10 got into the back of Tim Conrad, and it kind of. Did you see how it bounced him backwards into
it sure,
the
yeah,
91?
it sure did.
This is wild. This neck.
iRacing's just trying to frame my boy over here. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah,
it really does just shove him back.
That car lost all forward momentum, and it just gained like backwards momentum in about two tenths of a second. It's wild. We'd love to see iRacing. On board with him, yep, right there, and just no more forward drive once he hits that car.
By the way, I also like to point out, at some point during the green flag run, Ethan Burrell and Kynan Jones said clear their meatball flags. They're, I think, both back in positions of where they... Actually, no, Kynan Jones is still on the lead lap. Ethan Burrell is the only one who actually has not returned. So he, for all intents and purposes, is done for the night.
Well, Carlos, we are coming up on the 3/4 mark of this second half. It's gone by pretty quickly. Had a bit of a long run there in the beginning, but it's been standard iRacing short track fare since about lap 15 or so. Still have some time for the aggression to come out, but as far as your chasers are concerned, it's still all Brown and Watson up there in the top two. Next one is Miller back in P6.
I'd be curious to see if any games are played here on the restart. Or if we're going to have ourselves another nice clean one. Interesting to look. Look, 45 is once again taking his position back up second on the outside line. We saw him doing a good job the majority of the first half. Holding the outside line until he eventually did lose a couple spots and then get involved in a big wreck. But pace car's off, green flag's out, and Brown, no harm, no foul here, going into turns 1 and 2 by himself.
Great restart from that bottom line once again. Something we've seen all night. That bottom line just is where you want to be. So I can't presume we're going to see the leader take the outside line anytime soon. So you got about a 2-car length lead on that 75 of Ty McIntosh. He's a new player in this race tonight. Didn't see him up in the top 5 all night in half one. Started P15 here, has made his way up to second. Good run for him. And we know Ty is looking for a win. He really wants to probably not going to be a full-time driver in the OSCA series next year from everything I've heard. So
well, yeah, he's going to be in the booth.
Oh yeah, so that's been confirmed.
Oh, 45 going around.
Oh no, it's happened again. He started in P4 on the outside again, and trouble for Darren's staff. That's that just. And we got some chatter in the chat. People are mad at each other.
It's hard drivers. That's a racing incident.
A little bit of netcode there too. I mean, there just wasn't there wasn't blatant contact there. They didn't look like they were obviously gonna hit. I don't know. This will be a better view. The caution was called on the 45. He received the OL just now.
That's not going to hurt him too much. He's already back there anyway from the spin. But yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a racing incident. But so no stack up in terms for any of their drivers. I think the 10 may have clipped the 45 a little bit, but I don't think it's going to do any harm to both of those drivers.
So what that caution did, though, was the little group of drivers from Miller down to Tufts, 5th through 8th, so they were 7th through 10th before, and they all gained 2 spots on that last restart. So they're getting closer to that front, and maybe going to get themselves into that lead battle here with the 65, Noah Brown. He basically led it since lap 11 or so. Once he took the lead, never really gave it up, but you got to think those... especially like Miller and probably mostly Miller there. All the drivers who had a bad half one definitely going to want to get it better here in half two. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of Noah Brown once again. Green flag is out. Bottom line off like a rocket once again. No contest into turn number 1. Noah Brown has about a 2-car length lead. Easy to himself from the 75 of Ty McIntosh. That's down to a 1-car length lead off the corner, but all good. Turn 3 is single file. First 4 cars down Miller are all single file. Had a look from Ty McIntosh on the bottom there of Noah Brown, but nothing he could really do there on the entry of turn number 1. On board here, we're seeing how Ty is racing this track. Caution out once again. Tim Conrad, OSCA Daddy there is spun out in turn number 4.
I was making something work initially on the restart, but after 2 laps, it seemed like Noah Brown was starting to pull away. Well, let's take a look and see what happened to Tim Conrad here. Bring out the 8th caution.
On the inside of the 77 of Jake Scarborough. Now on the inside of the 7 of Ray Bracey. Just loses himself. Yep, that's probably a little bit too much rear brake there. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's about as good as it can go in a situation like that where you spin out in the middle of the field and nobody hits you.
Yeah, that could have been much worse. Again, kind of like a lot of the incidents here tonight. Kudos to a lot of the drivers. We've only had one major crash, maybe two. The rest of the times we've had a lot of cautions, but they've mostly been single car spins or 2 or 3 car spins that don't really result in major significant damage to other drivers. The only one I can really think of is that half-one wreck with Darren's staff that they kind of took him out and sent him flying across the racetrack.
Yeah, I think his body's probably about turn 2 at the motor speedway across the street. So let's go dig him up afterwards. I know we talked to him before the race, but I think that was a ghost. I don't think that was actually. We'll have to verify that though. We'll get our team on that. Quickly approaching the end of half number 2 here. So round 2 of the OSCA chase is almost to an end. Quick update on our top 10. Noah Brown, Ty McIntosh, James Watson, James Miller, Ryan Gavel, David Tooker, Neil Rutt, Daniel Gore, Thomas Capuano, and Caden Tufts. I'm really surprised the 69. Really, he had that long run where he kind of made up some time. Well, in fact, I want to say long run. It was like 7 laps, but since we started having these cautions, he's not had a lot of opportunity to make up spots here, and he's going to be starting on the outside. So just see what he can do on this. I was going to say last restart, but this is probably about the 3rd to last one, if we're going to be honest here. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of 65. Once again, good restart for him. He is off into turn 1, clears the 75 of Ty McIntosh pretty easily. Battle for second here between him and James Watson. There's James Miller on the outside. He's on the outside of Ryan Gavel. See if he can make something work up there, but got some looking there. Ryan Gavel was looking on the inside of James Miller. Nowhere to go though. Watson was already on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to slow up Ryan Gavel and give some room to the 0-9 of Miller. Miller is going to make the outs. I think that's the first pass around the outside we have seen all night, and that was
caution. 13 around.
13 around. What I was saying, I think that's the first pass around the outside we've seen all night, and I think that's just because the 39 got a really bad run there off of turn number 2. So,
well, 39 got clipped from the back of the 01 going into the corner, just set him loose there. But kudos to the drivers; they all held on nice and strong. As Peeler did go around. I also see Dylan Thomas's name showing up. Maybe, right there. 13 has gone around. I don't know if he got help from the 45 or. It was another driver or something else has happened as well. We got 2 separate incidents there, I think. So 13 with a little stack up, I think, turn around from the 45. As let's focus on this one first.
Yeah, there's definitely 2 hits there from behind.
Oh yeah, definitely a stack up incident there.
One there.
13.
Number 2.
How did the 27 go around going to the corner? What? Oh, the other RKM driver took care of that one.
An RKM caution. There we go.
I don't want to talk about it. Was the caution out at this point? No, I think this was the cause of the caution. I don't think the 13 going around brought out the caution at all. But yeah, that's a tough night in general.
And I want to say due to that, the 91 was black flagged once again. All right. Pace truck lights are off. We're going to be 4 laps to go once we get the green flag here, so that's going to take about probably a good 45, 50 seconds. So 15, that's 30, so about a minute if we go green. Highly doubt that's the case. Pace truck is off field in the hands of the 65 of Noah Brown, going for his 2nd win on the season. Green flag is out. Good restart for that 65 on the bottom. Once again, the 75 on the outside got a pretty decent restart, but I don't think he's going to have anything for that number 09 of James Miller on the inside. Miller, he's going to be aggressive going into turn 3 here. He's looking for a win. I don't think he's won since about 4 or 5 months ago, so he's on a pretty big dry spell. Caution out once again. Something happened, and it's 71 of, well, I think that's Cooper Johnson taking his black flag penalty there.
Yeah, he was already in pit road. He was not involved in this caution.
We'll have to verify that. I'm just kidding. I think it was 71. Looks like it was just a self spin from him.
Well, that's
maybe.
Okay, yeah, it's a self spin. The amount of times I've had like my heart pressure raised because I see a replay and then immediately one of my drivers is right next to the driver that
even Cooper's there, just taking his penalty.
Even
He's like in the shot.
Carpenter,
Right,
I think, overdrove the corner.
We got another green white checker here.
This is the first attempt, right?
That is correct. First attempt green white checker. So Cooper's not even going to lose a lap because that caution came out right when he was there. So that's probably the best break he's had all night, if we're going to be honest. If I was Cooper after tonight, I'd probably be looking for therapy or something, just with the way that night's gone. Sometimes you just have a bad night and it just doesn't get any better.
All right. Well, maybe a little bit biased on your end, but who do you think might have this victory here?
Ooh, that's a good question. We have 2 very, very aggressive drivers up there in the 1st and 2nd positions. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but if they get in trouble, might see Ty McIntosh get himself a win. Maybe James Watson. Maybe even Tommy Cat back in there. Ryan Gavel looks like he's in a pretty good spot. So I don't want to say there's going to be contact here, but I don't think there's not going to be contact.
Outside of Noah Brown, I think Sam McIntosh might be in the best position here.
Pace truck lights are off, so we are on our first green white checker. We only have this one and one more if we get to that. So this race is going to be concluded here within about 5 minutes or so. Pace truck is off. Field in the hands of the 65 of Noah Brown. Once again, he has held the lead since lap 11. See if any of these drivers behind him can take it from him. Green flag is out. Good start for the 65. Good start for the 09. Everybody looks to be going pretty well. James Miller on the outside is going to try to send it off into turn number 1. Luke 65, he is all out of shape. 3 wide for the lead. We are going to be battling it off into turn number 3 here. Who's going to get the advantage? Ty McIntosh has come out of that mess with the lead. White flag. This race is going to end whether we like it to or not. No matter what happens, contact with James Miller from the bottom. Everybody is sideways off at turn number 2. Everybody's trying to wreck, but about 3 car lengths ahead of all that is Ty McIntosh getting his first win of the season in that 75 Do Good Motorsports Ford. Good job to him.
I knew it was the correct move for me to get the camera ready on Ty McIntosh. Ty Potty Mouth McIntosh is showed up last week, immediately dropped the curse word on the broadcast, and now this week he's redeemed himself by winning in half number 2.
Good stuff. That was a crazy restart right there, and happy to say that I think we were all wrong. There was contact, but it wasn't where we thought it was going to be. Everybody just kind of ran into each other. nobody really moved each other out of the way. There was just too many cars and too little of a spot. Some donuts there from the 75. His first win of the season. You gotta think he's really happy about that with his OSCA driving career having at most 3 more seasons, or not seasons, 3 more races before he steps into where I'm standing for what appears to be the permanent duration.
Well, now I don't think he's gonna want to get out of that car, especially since we're going truck racing next season. I think he's just gonna want to. I don't think I was supposed to announce that.
Oh well, let's see how that plays out.
Let's see how that plays out. I mean, the driver's new, but with the vehicles they're driving next season, he really enjoys that. He was disappointed when he found out. Even Vic was like warning him when Ty agreed to be in the broadcast booth next season. It's like, hey, sure you're not agreeing too early to this? And then the following week, the announcement came out, and Ty, I think there's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be doing full-time commentating next season. I think it's safe to assume that won't be the case. How about we look at that last lap?
See, that's a swimmingly great idea. Let's see what happened here. So much going on here. It's going to be the 3 wide for the lead here into turn 3. James Miller gets some contact from behind from the 1, faves it. And the
go back
65,
a little bit further.
65 got moved up the track, so that kind of like started everything right there. Okay, here's the initial restart. I don't think there was any contact from behind. I think the 65 just got it in the gas too early and got it loose or something like that. I
think if there was contact, it was probably netcode that resulted in the 65 getting loose. I don't think I saw any physical contact. But I mean, honestly, even if there was or wasn't, if there was contact, that was the perfect bump and run from the 75.
Yeah, if that was a bump and run, we got to get that on the highlight reels or something, because that was a really good one.
The 09 had that car essentially wrecked in the backstretch, but was able to hold on to it strong as the 52 turned around, got into the 69 in a big last lap crash. Excuse me, as I didn't mean to do that. But let's go ahead and bring in your half 1 winner, and then we'll bring in your half 2 winner and end it for the night here. Where is your half 1 winner? Gore, right?
Correct, that would be Gore.
All right, Cameron, why don't you go ahead and take it away with tonight's half 1 race winner, Daniel Gore.
Well, Daniel Gore, welcome to the booth. I'm on a different side of talking to you once, so that's pretty cool. But you are our half 1 winner tonight. Basically led the whole darn thing. Started first, finished first, and I think you led just about every one of them in between. Why don't you share some secrets with us? Tell us what went right, what you could have done differently, and just talk us through your first race.
On the first race, there was not really a thing I would have done different, to be honest. It just felt like getting a groove. I was hoping for a bit of a longer run, as I was saving my tires real well. And I think at the end of the race, the lowest was like 97 or 98. So I saved them real good. And I feel that kind of helped. Gavel behind was getting kind of loose at times, but close, so I couldn't be too cautious. Overall, the first race was awesome. I would not change a thing. I kind of struggled early, knowing it was a new track again for me. And I put in a lot of practice, more than I usually do. I figured being one of the tighter tracks in the playoffs, that this would be a sort of key race. So I wanted to make sure I did well here. And I'd say overall, I had a pretty decent night.
Yeah, for sure. Came on with the win in half number 1. Saw in half number 2, you had a bit of a weird pit strategy there. I saw that you got a little sniped coming into pit road. I think you were planning on some others coming with you, but lone wolf there and put you back to about 23rd on the restart. I we saw that you had a lot of like long run speed, but just didn't look like there was enough green flag laps to really be able to put what you had on the field tonight, that long run pace to use in that second half.
No, well, I figured I'd try something different in the second half, being that far back. The earlier you can take your tires, the better. The kind of chaos and we had I think it was like about 25-30 lap run at the beginning there, so I knew I'd have a bit more wear, and I think at one stint alone actually was more wear than the entire first race. So I figured I'd take tires even if no one came with me and just see how it goes. At first I was kind of regretting it, but towards the end I definitely felt like it was worth it. I was sort of being able to hang around the outside, but the outside here is just a death trap really. So without the tire advantage, I just would have kept falling back even worse than I did at times. A little annoyed I didn't get further up, but it's just the problem of being out there really.
That's a pretty good point to that, though. You came home with a first and a E7, yeah.
I believe it's enough to extend overall.
Yeah, and you got an off week here. You got Daytona coming up, and then you got your wheelhouse coming up. It's Charlotte Road. So, how are you feeling about these last 3 races?
I feel good. Both tracks, or all 3 of them are tracks I feel like I do well at. My favorite kind of intermediate is 2-mile D-ovals, so I'm looking forward to the finale. The road courses are given, and as a team, my Redux, we perform well on the super speedways. We're pretty coordinated, so overall, I'm really looking forward to these last 3 races.
Right on. It's gonna be great to watch. I definitely had a lot of fun watching this one tonight. It was probably one of our better short track races that I've seen just as a fan. But before we kick you out of here and get Ty in here, you got any shout outs for the rest of the viewers?
I want to say thank you to Jordan. He always watches. I want to say thank you to Noah. I know he had a kind of tough ending there, tough break. Ty kind of just moved him out the way a little. I mean, I don't blame him for doing what he did, but kind of sucks to lose that way. And that's it, really. Just thank the sponsors, thank a couple friends, and yeah.
All right, well that's your Have Fun winner, and what I believe is going to be your points leader coming out of this event, Daniel Gore. Thank you for talking with us, and have a good Thanksgiving break, and good luck the week after that.
Thank you.
All right, that was Daniel Gore. Let's go ahead and see if we can go find Ty. He's probably sloshed off his butt right now, so we'll go find him. He's probably down the cheapest alcohol you can find. There
Oh man, I had the wrong person on showing the whole time. I'm so sorry. It was showing Ty McIntosh being your half one winner. So that's not actually true. He was your half 2 winner. So an apology. We'll bring in Ty McIntosh and talk to your half 2 winner.
I got him here. Ty, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, that's so okay. You proved me wrong there on the last restart of the race. We were talking about what was going to happen, and I said there was going to be contact, and I think the 75 of Ty McIntosh is going to come out of this looking like a rose. And there was contact. You came out of this looking like rose. You got the win. Why don't you talk us through your race?
I mean, yeah, that was, the first half, I felt like I did okay. I was just kind of there. Fell back a little bit, was able to get back to 7th. Starting 15th, I figured this was going to be a lot more rugged half for me. I didn't think I was going to do as good. Just able to slowly make my way through, take advantage of everything else. And then that last restart, I mean, I don't want to move anybody to win a race, but if I've got to, I will. And that's just what it came down to there. I've been hungry for this first one for a while now. And it's been a long time coming, but I can't thank James and everybody else that was helping me out there at the end there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And if it means anything, we were watching that on the broadcast here, and I can't say that was too egregious of a bump and run. It honestly didn't even look like you got in him that much. So fair play on that. I gotta say, pretty sexy bump and run if that's what you were going for there. But yeah, I know that there were some discussions about you maybe move into a different role, maybe not. Are we going to see you again? Any of the 3 remaining events this season?
So I'm at least planning on being there for Daytona. So looking to get another one there. And then after, depending on how that shakes out, at least for 2025A, we're going to move to the booth with Carlos. I've had a lot of fun calling these races, and allows me to focus on some other stuff during the week. And then hopefully, maybe 2025B, I'll be back in the driver's seat here. Just not quite sure yet.
Well, got the inside scoop. Heard it from the man himself. It's good to hear. It was good to see you get your first win of the season tonight, and what a way to do it. Definitely, I love watching these short tracks. I think it was probably one of the cleaner, better short track OSCA races I've seen and or been in. So I think all the drivers did a really good job here tonight, and definitely you did the best job of anyone in half number 2. So you got any shout outs for us to the viewers?
I mean, 3 Wide TV, they've been huge for me, Carlos and everybody. For being a sponsor on my car and a lot of other places and this one. Weekend Woodsman Tim, literally my biggest cheerleader as far as, getting up here and running these races and doing good. I can't thank David enough, David Westergreen, for letting me pop in and drive the 75. I hope Dylan's doing all right. I mean, everybody at Shift that has helped me get to this point as far as giving me a ride and, allowing me to switch over to the 75. So I got to thank Seth for that. Dylan Gooden on YouTube, obviously Dylan. He's a big sponsor on the car. You guys put on the show, Vic, for maintaining our insanity, and there's a lot of people to thank, but I think I hit the majority of the important ones.
There you go. I know the party's gonna be good tonight for you because I know you're one of them party types that likes to get down when things go right. So go enjoy it. Go enjoy it. Go party it down. You want a short track. You want a short track with a hell of a move at the end. So definitely was fun to watch on 3 Wide TV. But great win tonight, and we will definitely be looking forward to see you again, at least at Daytona.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so that's gonna kind of do it for us tonight. A bit of a long broadcast, long races, as wasn't definitely pretty. I think Martinsville probably was better race in general, but still, lots of fun racing. And at the very end, we got to see an awesome pass for the win. Maybe even the first actual working bump and run in iRacing history in a short track.
That would definitely be a first, but we got plenty of action coming for you in these next few weeks. Next week off for Thanksgiving, and then the 3 Thursdays after that, we got Daytona, Charlotte Roval Legacy, the old non-NASCAR version before they actually made it into a real track. We're running that, and then ending the season at Copart Speedway. I'm sorry, Auto Club. That's what we got to call it now, Auto Club. So it's going to be a really good race, or a really good run to the end of the season here. I think those are 3 wildly different tracks. This whole chase was way better than I think what we see in real life with variety of tracks. So we're seeing the best come out in the drivers, but definitely a good race tonight, and it's going to be a really great end of this season.
Well said, well said. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the booth kind of last minute. I appreciate that a lot. And, hopefully, with the week off, we can all regroup, get ourselves together, and have another fantastic race here in 2 weeks.
Yep, and that's me, Camera Rich, that's Carlos Acosta. You guys have a great rest of your night, and take care.